Cornell University Medical School. Among other topics, Dr. Thur will discuss the diagnostic approach to emotional symptoms in
Welcome to the wonderful world of Sedition. They're loud, they're wacky, and they're set to dominate the world, just as soon as they get themselves a lead vocalist, that is. Now, the current lineup of this Northampton band reads Greg on guitars, Mark on drums, and Alan on bass, who, together, sound something very much like this.
It's sort of a cross between the kind of thing that, say, someone like Husker Du is doing, and more sort of modern American music like the Butthole Surfers, Scratch Acid. We don't really sort of stick to that. I mean, we do play other types of music as well.
One of the common themes that has emerged over the weeks in local band spotlight is a widespread dissatisfaction with music venues in the county, and Sedition's opinions prove no different either.
It's a big place and there's not enough there for the amount of people living here, basically. It's got a very small centre. There's no venue as such in Northampton. It's either pubs or the Roadmender, basically, which for a town the size of Northampton is pathetic.
Yeah, but the Roadmender is far too expensive to hire anyway. I mean,
it's expensive to put on gigs.
Yeah, very, very expensive.
Apart from, say, a pub, you play at a pub like the Black Lion, then it's cheap. Anywhere else is expensive. You can count on losing money.
Unsurprisingly, perhaps, Sedition gig infrequently in Northamptonshire, but if you have the price of a ferry ticket and the sea legs, you might just catch them abroad.
We played in Holland last year. We did a bit of a disastrous tour of 2 gigs.
2 gigs,
because one of the places we were going to play closed down, and a few of the other gigs we did fell through. So we actually did 2 gigs in Holland, which were far better than any gigs we've ever done in England, because the people are better. They're more into what you're doing, and they're more
positive attitude.
Yeah, they're more willing to listen to what you're actually playing, rather than in England people don't seem to give you as much of a chance. They're not willing to listen.
You're judging your hairstyle in England.
As well as travelling the globe, Greg, Mark and Alan have recently put together a demo tape comprising 3 original instrumental compositions. The Moshin Session, as it is called, is an interesting collection of humour, weirdness and hardcore. So how does Sedition enjoy life in the studio?
You know, if you go into studios and you spend a lot of time in them, a lot of the music that comes out sounds very sterile. I mean, if you take Husker Du for an example, the music they were making 4 years ago sounded a lot more raw and had a lot more edge to it than the stuff they've done recently. Now, I don't know whether that's because of the record company they've signed to, or whether they are spending more time in the studio and want a more polished sound. But I mean, I think they were better before than they are now.
If the Moshin Session is anything to go by, Sedition are certainly a lot more entertaining than many similar bands both sides of the Atlantic. They mosh with the best of them, as the saying goes, and can promise anyone who attends their gigs at least one thing.
A volume of noise.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, a bit of a wall of noise. I think we've got a bit of a sense of humour live as well, which a lot of bands in this town seem to lack, with notable exceptions. And a lot of bands I've seen in this town definitely do lack a sense of humour. Do we sound humorless at the moment? I think we probably do.
Of course you don't, lads. And finally, on the Sedition front, the band are currently on the lookout for a vocalist. So if you think you fit the bill, could you contact Alan on Northampton 717 682? That's Northampton 717 682. Now, I'm sure Denise has probably plugged this enough already, but don't forget, please join us next week for our very first local band Spotlight Roundtable.